Welcome back to the Cheshire TV show with Ian and Alex Story.
The Cheshire TV show is a brand new show covering the whole of the Cheshire region, and coming up on this week's show,
I visited Stephen Evans at the Old Sessions House in Knutsford. We've also got some regular lifestyle pieces, our stat chat, and as always our fresh to market.
this week I'm very jealous because Alex went to meet Steve Evans from the Old Sessions House in Knutsford.
So I'm here at the Old Sessions House in Knutsford. I'm here to meet Stephen Evans. Let's go and have a chat. So Stephen, do you want to tell me first of all a bit more about what you love about Knutsford?
Yeah, we've lived here now for 16 years. It's a great community. There's a lot of choice for both eating out, drinking, retail, shopping. I guess if there's any problems, probably car parking's not the best in the world in Knutsford. It's a bit short on that. But I think overall it's just the community. You know, there's a lot of people who you kind of grow up with over that period of time when you live here, and friendships get struck up. So no, it's a lot of fun.
Sure. And what would you say about the people of Knutsford?
I think by and large there's a lot of really nice people. You know, as a dog owner, I walk a lot in Tatton Park, which is only 5 minutes away, and you see the same faces. And occasionally, if I've got an extra dog with me, because I have the youngest dog, if my daughter's down here working, they'll say, "Oh, you've gained another dog." So it's even just sort of silly things like
Yeah,
that, and
just
then
friendly.
you recognise the people in the street as well
Yeah,
again.
sure.
Yeah.
I think the artisan market helps a bit with that as well, and it really brings the town to life.
Yes, it does. And I think the artisan market is actually vital to the economy of Knutsford, and I know there's been some objections on safety grounds to running it, but it would be absolute madness to stop that. For example, we'll open our doors on a market Sunday, the first Sunday in the month, 2 hours earlier at 10 o'clock, and we will never take less than sort of another £1,500, £2,000 on a market day. And there are other shops like the perfume shop who doesn't open on a Sunday typically. He opens and takes more money on a Sunday than other days. Woods the butchers, because we speak to these guys. So for us, it's vital, and of course it's returning in a few days' time, first Sunday in February.
Yeah.
So no, gets a big tick from us.
Yeah, and it just really makes it such a buzzing atmosphere because we quite often come over on the train. It's just so many people. It's just great to see it
it's
so
a lot
busy.
of fun, and even if the weather's not good, you still get the people out there. And of course, for us, it's ideal because it's right outside the starting point, and it's always the same. The old bus that's dressed as a florist unit, and then right down the top street and into the car parks.
Yeah.
So no, for us, it's really good. Lot of fun, great atmosphere. And you know, even in bad weather, we'll have people sat on our outside tables because they're dressed accordingly, just watching what
And
goes
we're
on.
British, so
Yeah,
we just muck on.
we get
don't
on with it. Yeah, exactly.
So Stephen, do you want to tell us a bit more about the history of this building here?
Yes, this was a really old pub called the Red Cow, and in fact the alleyway at this side behind me is Red Cow Yard. It was really quite a rough place, pool tables, sticky floor. In fact, we've got 3 dogs, and it was the only pub in Knutsford 15 years ago that was dog friendly, and you could see why. So the company not the company we are now, but the company previous to us, took the site over as part of an expansion plan. They already had 2 other units at that stage. Did this major conversion. The area we're sat here was added on. This was a derelict room at the back. Okay. New kitchen was built. Bar wasn't reconfigured, and this became the Old Sessions House, and has traded really quite successfully.
Yeah, and when was this part of the building completed?
This was done at the time that it converted from the Red Cow to the Old Sessions House, and that's now about 6 years ago.
So do you want to tell us a bit more about the menu here and the drinks and cocktail menu?
Absolutely love to. We're a 7-day-a-week operation. On Sundays we're famous for our Sunday roasts, and we are full every Sunday. So if anyone watching this video, I'd seriously advise that you make a reservation, because that way you're guaranteed to get in. But other than that, we open at midday every day. We have an extensive range of lagers and beers. We do cocktails. We have a really good range of spirits now. Spirits are big in vogue, flavoured gins and artisan products like that. We have cask ales, we're famous for that. We permanently run a Timothy Taylor cask ale as a regular feature. We do that in fact in all of our pubs in an arrangement with them. We have a really good extensive wine list. And then food-wise, we have a set lunch menu, we have a snack menu. We do a la carte right throughout the week, so when we open at midday, we close at last orders, which is normally gone 10 o'clock in the restaurant, and bar stays open later. We have live music on Friday nights, pretty much right through the year now, and we also have Sky Sports showing, and we've just put that in recently, just to try and enhance the offer that we make for all our guests.
Did you say you could just hire this room exclusively as well, because this space that we're sat in is fantastic?
Yes, you can. The back area now is divided off because we added a pizza oven into the kitchen, so we did a kitchen extension, and that's created this area where we are at the back of the conservatory as a more private area. So we actually welcome private parties in here, christenings, weddings, occasionally it's a funeral wakes, but at the end of the day, you'll get an area dedicated to yourselves.
Yeah. And Stephen, what would you say is the highlight of the Knutsford social calendar?
For the town itself, it's the May Day Parade. Obviously, that's normally the first Saturday in the month of May. Last year, the parade went on for over 4 hours. We put an outside barbecue unit, an outside mobile bar in, just so people could literally walk past and pick up a quick snack or a drink without having to come in the pub. And then for the town of Knutsford more generally, obviously the flower show in August is always, or July should I say, is always brings a lot of visitors to town and is very good for us. So the events in Tatton Park don't necessarily bring everyone into town, but it is just an opportunity for people to come and explore Knutsford. So for us it's good news.
Yeah. So that's been the Old Sessions House in Knutsford. They've got 40% off food throughout February, so come try it out. Back to the studio.
That cocktail looked really good, Al.
Yes, it was very enjoyable. Got to make the most of being without the small people.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, guys, now I've found another good buy-to-let deal for you Cheshire landlords. Let's take a look. I found another good buy-to-let deal for you. This property behind me here is on Victoria Road in Northwich. Now, it's a modernised 2-bedroom terraced house, and it's on the market for offers in the region of £100,000. So assuming you can secure it for around £96,000, you're going to be able to get a yield of 7%, as the rent will easily be £575. Literally a 2-minute walk in this direction is the Northwich railway station, and the town centre is a 10-minute walk the other way. Well worth a look. It's on the market with Leaders, and I'll put the Rightmove link in the comments below. Cheshire landlords, I hope you realise what a good buy-to-let deal that was. Now it's time for some Cheshire Stat Chat. This week, I want to tell you that Wilmslow homeowners have made an annual profit of just under £20,000 per year since the millennium. So, as we go full steam ahead into 2019, it's certain that the Wilmslow housing market in 2018 was a little more restrained than 16 and 17, and I believe this will continue into 2019. Property ownership is a medium to long-term investment. So looking at the long term, the average Wilmslow homeowner, having owned their property since the millennium, has seen its value rise by more than 206%. House prices are a national obsession and tied into the health of the UK economy as a whole. Now, if you look at the screen now, since the millennium in Wilmslow, the average detached house has risen from just under 250,000 to just over 700,000. That's a rise of 102%, just over £25,000 per year. Looking at the other types on the screen, terraced homes have risen by 9.6% a year, semi-detached by 11.4%, but the star of the show are apartments, which have risen by 12.3%. However, we can't forget there's been just over 60% inflation over those 18 years, which eats into the real value or true spending power of that profit. So if we take into account inflation since 2000, the true spending power of that profit has been lower, as you can see on the screen now. So the real value of the profit after inflation in Wilmslow has been just over £12,000 per year. Still nothing to sniff at for doing nothing. I wanted to show you that even though we had the 08-09 credit crunch, property market crash, where, depending on the type of Wilmslow property values dropped between 15 and 20% in just an 18-month period. Wilmslow homeowners over the long term are still better off than those renting. Now, moving forward, the question I get asked time and time again is what will happen in the future to the Wilmslow property market? Irrespective of what's happening in the world, Europe or central London, or the biggest factor over the medium to long term to ensure that this level of house price growth is maintained in Wilmslow is the building of new homes, both locally and in the country as a whole. Whilst we haven't had the 2018 stats yet, government sources suggest this will be nearer 180 to 190,000, a decrease from the 27 figure of 217,000 new households being created. When you consider we need to build 240,000 households to equal demand, including immigration, people living longer, higher divorce rates, people cohabiting later in life, etc., demand will outstrip supply, and unless the government starts to spend billions building council houses, this trend will continue for years and decades to come. Another factor that whilst Wilmslow landlords have been hit with higher taxes to enable them to actually be a landlord, most in every national survey still intends to increase their portfolio in the medium to long term. The youngsters of Wilmslow renting as a choice, giving them flexibility and options that being tied to a home cannot give, thus meaning demand will continue to grow, and landlords will be able to enjoy increased rents and capital growth, although those vary. Some Wilmslow landlords, buy-to-let landlords, will have to work smarter in the future to continue to make decent returns from their buy-to-let investments. Even with the tempering of the house price inflation in Wilmslow in 2018, most Wilmslow buy-to-let landlords and homeowners are still sitting on copious amounts of growth from previous years. Now the question is, how do you, as a Wilmslow buy-to-let landlord, ensure that that continues? Since the 1990s, making money from investing in a buy-to-let property was as easy as falling off a log. If you want a chat about investing in the Cheshire buy-to-let market, feel free to drop me a line. Now guys, what we're going to do is move over to our lifestyle feature. Hello there, welcome to this week's lifestyle tips. What I want to do is give you a walk through this lounge to give you a few ideas on how you should present the rooms to make them appeal to as many people as possible. You need to make sure that the lights are on. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the room. So first of all, you need to think about how the room's presented and what sort of things you can tidy away to make it look as good as possible. So you need to make sure that anything that's on the floor is collected and tidied away, including all of these TV remotes that we have these days. So it's really important to make sure that anything that's on the sofa is all tidied away. We've all got lots of cushions lying around, so if you give them a really good plump and display them nicely so it looks really attractive to sit on the sofa, and of course fold any throws and make everything look nice and tidy. So if you're lucky enough to have a real working fire in your lounge, it's a great idea to get it lit, especially on a cold wintry day. So there's a few tips there for you on how to present your lounge to create that lovely homely feel to encourage as many buyers as possible to purchase your house. Hi there, I hope you got real good value from that lifestyle feature. This section is recently sold. Now, I've been looking and I've found a fantastic property here that's sold in Davenham. The property sold in May of 2018 with J. Lord & Co. for £772,500. Let's take a look at the outside. Outside of the property is extremely good looking. It's a period property with all those trees, as you can see. And if we take a look through, the external is absolutely fantastic. What a fantastic rear garden the property has, very private, all that lawn space. The kitchen diner is absolutely stunning. Not the biggest in the world, but wow, how well has that been fitted? The ensuite bathroom, I noticed, is particularly superb with that walk-in wardrobe just next door. And then if we finally just take a look at the external again, what a fantastic property that would have been to buy. So that was the recently sold section. Now back to the studio for Fresh to Market.
Let's take a look at this week's Fresh to Market.
Cheshire House Hunters, I'm out and about again looking for premium properties new to the market that you might be interested in viewing or purchasing. This property behind me here is on Park Lane in Pickmere. Now this is a beautiful semi-rural location. Across the road is a lovely little lake. As you can see, the property is a detached bungalow currently, but it does need full renovation. The beauty of it and the reason I love it is that it sits in 1/3 of an acre of land. So it's a renovation project and it's on the market with a guide price of 500 to 550,000 with Bridgefords. I will put the Rightmove link in the comments below.
Thank you for watching the Cheshire TV show with Alex and Ian Story.
Next week, I'm going to meet Ryan from Cotton's Hotel and Spa in Knutsford. Tune in then, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.